Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we are taking a look at Kaiju number 8 and a theory that I am currently working on. This theory is just unproven in so many different ways. It relies on several different sub-theories. So this is really reaching out there and rambling on about something, but bear with me. So this theory will have spoilers all the way up through chapter 34, but it has to do with the kind of core relationship between Kikoru, Kafka, and her father. All right, so if you don't want any spoilers, you can click away now. The link's below the video. You can access my book, Humans Are Weird, We Have the Data, or my book that will be coming out in mid-November, Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Now, if you're ready for the spoilers, here is my theory without burying the lead. I think that Kikoru Shinomiya already did actually save her mother, Hikari Shinomiya. Now, if you've read up on the chapters, you know that's going to sound like a really whack theory. It's really way out there, but hear me out. So, this starts with pretty much a theory that I heard in a discussion between Grim Saber and Anime Ramble. They both have awesome channels that deal with a lot of manga and Kaiju number 8. Go check them out. But they were discussing all the way up to chapter 44, and they were talking about what actually happened to Hikari Shinomiya. And they posited something that I too had been suspecting at that time, that it was her suit that killed her, not actually Kaiju number 6. Because nowhere in the manga has it said that Kaiju number 6 directly killed her. It's just been implied that she died as a result of the chaos and the calamities that were caused by Kaiju number 6. And we now know that the numbered weapons shave years off your life, and Grim and Anime Ramble posited that the Defense Force might have only discovered that when the numbered weapon number 4 killed Hikari Shinomiya. Now, that got me started thinking, did the numbered weapon kill Hikari Shinomiya? And the answer is, we don't know. It's far more likely that the numbered weapon killed her than that the Kaiju number 6 killed her. But nowhere is it absolute word of creator stated in the series that she is dead. We don't know that Hikari Shinomiya is dead yet. Not fully, dead. So where do I get that? Now, you might be flashing back to chapter 7, to Kikoru's flashback, where her father says, "Your late mother." But here's my theory, based kind of something on Anime Ramble said, that the numbered weapons might be something like the Claymore process in the anime Claymore. In the anime Claymore, the monster blood used to transform humans into superhumans to fight monsters slowly affected the humans, turning them more and more into monsters until eventually they had to essentially be put out of their misery. And Anime Ramble posited that the Defense Force numbered weapons might do the same thing to the Defense Force officers. Because the main evidence being for this, when we saw Iso Shinomiya put on weapon number 2, it talked about synchronizing the neural cells. Basically, his brain was being synchronized, and then Kaiju number 8 detected the aura of a Daikaiju when he was fighting number 2, to the point that Kaiju number 8 did not seem to be able to differentiate between, say, Kaiju number 9 and Kaiju number 2. So that would suggest that if these weapons overpower the human, it might not kill them, it might turn them into a kaiju. Now, this can go two ways. If Hikari Shinomiya was completely kaijuified by Kaiju weapon number 4, if that was the sacrifice she made, it's entirely possible that Iso Shinomiya himself might have had to put her down to end the threat that she had become when she basically turned completely kaiju. That would definitely explain the extreme trauma he showed at the funeral and his inability to comfort Kikoru, knowing that he had killed her mother. But what if she was captured and not killed? If that had happened, it would have essentially had the same effect, especially if he had not been able to put her out of her misery, if she was still suffering somewhere trapped in the mind of a kaiju. that would also be equally traumatic for him and would explain his behavior. And it would also explain why he was so determined to handle Kafka's situation himself. At the time, I thought it was just because Kafka was one of his soldiers, but if he was trying to make up for his failure with Hikaru Shinomiya, with his wife, that might explain his behavior in that direction as well. So, here's my question. We don't know for sure that Hikaru Shinomiya is actually 100% dead yet. But where does this leave me, and how does this tie into Kafka's relationship with Kikoru? And if she's not dead, if she's trapped in that purely Kaijuified form, locked away in some basement vault of the Kaiju Defense Force, how could Kikoru already have saved her? Now, I've done a lot of comparisons between the writing style in Kaiju number 8 and the writing style in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Now, if you remember in The Lord of the Rings, the ring was destroyed primarily because of the two acts of compassion, one showed by Bilbo to Smeagol, and the compassion showed by Frodo to Smeagol, because ultimately it was Smeagol, or rather Gollum, who destroyed the ring by biting it off of Frodo's finger and jumping in and falling into the lava because of it. I think we might be dealing with a similar concept here, because one of the first things we see Kikoru Shinomiya do is show compassion and duty to Kafka by rescuing him during the training arc and keeping Kafka in the training long enough so that Hoshina could pass him. Now, how could that possibly be the action that has already effectively saved her mother's life or brought her mother back from this living hell that we're postulating for her? This comes back into another theory that has not yet been confirmed that was suggested to me by Blue Green Phoenix. The one that Kafka has the power to degenerate kaiju. The clues for this are threefold. First and foremost, when Kafka fights the kaiju on the training ground, he kind of jokingly says, don't come back to life, don't come back to life. And they drop dead. We'd all assumed that they'd simply run out of the energy that Kaiju number 9 had given them, but we don't know that. That could have been Kafka blocking their action. The second piece of evidence for this theory comes when Kafka is battling Kaiju number 9 as Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 9 could not regenerate as fast as he usually could, and Kaiju number 9 actually comments on this. This is strange. Why can't I regenerate? If Kaiju number 8 is capable of suppressing Kaiju rejuvenation, that would explain that. And then you have the fact that Kafka defeated the bomb by punching it. Now, the way bombs work, if you punch a bomb suddenly, it goes off right then and there. But when Kafka punched the bomb, it delayed the explosion on the bomb for long enough for the bomb to go up in the air and get further away from the defense force, and therefore mute the effect of its explosion. And even though it went a considerable distance up, that really shouldn't have suppressed the explosion as much as it did, but it did. And so that's three major pieces of evidence that the Kaiju number 8 form has the ability to suppress and control the Kaiju energies. So here is my theory, my posit, a scene that I kind of hope we get to see, and I've seen no evidence that we won't get to see it. If at some point the Kaiju number 4 weapon that has Kikoru's mother, Hikaru Shinomiya, trapped inside of it. Again, this is theory upon theory upon theory. Upon the theory that it was the Kaiju number 4 weapon that killed Kikoru's mother, upon the theory that it didn't actually kill her dead, but simply trapped her in a never-ending state of Kaijuification by overwhelming her human body with the Kaiju body, with the Kaiju aura that was in the numbered weapon, assuming that the defense force managed to capture and not kill her when that happened, assuming that Kafka does have this ability to suppress Kaiju powers. At this point, all we need is for the Kaiju number 4 weapon / Hikaru Shinomiya zombie to escape, and for Kafka as Kaiju number 8 to be the one to battle her. He'd probably need to be at full strength. because we've seen repeatedly Kaiju number 8 do attacks they could not possibly have practiced in advance. So these powers are being used by the Kaiju intelligence within Kafka, and it's giving Kafka the ability to do that. Now, there's one more story element that supports the concept that Kafka would be able to use his Kaiju nullification powers to rescue Hikari Shinomiya from this living hellish prison. Now, we see it first. Kafka as Kaiju number 8 battles number 9. Second, Kafka as Kaiju number 8 has to fight for his life with the Director General wielding Kaiju number 2, and it seems like the Kaiju inside of Kafka can't tell the difference between the actual Daikaiju and a Defense Force officer wielding a Daikaiju weapon. Then the third beat is we have Kafka battling Kaiju number 9, and Kafka can't transform, which, if you look at it from the perspective of the Kaiju intelligence within him, the little guy as I like to call him, it makes perfect sense. The little guy battled Kaiju number 9 once and was emotionally rewarded for it. The little guy who goes to battle Kaiju, it sees as Kaiju number 2 and is viciously punished for it. So this should be if my theory holds together, if this isn't entirely a pipe dream, this should be the beat where the little guy, the Kaiju intelligence within Kafka, learns to differentiate between an actual Daikaiju and a human that is currently being possessed by a Daikaiju weapon. And again, that's like 7 different ifs. So again, this is a really pipe dream kind of theory. But if Kafka, as Kaiju number 8, comes in contact with the Kaiju number 4 weapon that has taken over Hikari Shinomiya, by that time, the Kaiju intelligence within Kafka should be able to differentiate between a human numbered weapon combination, even if the human has been completely taken over by the numbered weapon combination, and then would be able to use the Kaiju nullification process to free the human from the Daikaiju number weapon. So that is a scene that I think there's a good chance we will be able to get to see. Kaiju number 8 rescuing Hikari Shinomiya from her living entombment in the number 4 weapon. All right, so what do you think? Am I way off base? Is this a complete pipe dream? Does the logic follow? Can you poke a hole in my theory? I'd really love to hear your comments on this below, but this is just me getting it out there now. I kind of think that's what we're going to see. But again, Matsumoto is a great author and has taken the story in multiple directions that I never foresaw. I've been wrong about a lot, but I've been right about a lot too. So we will see. Check out the links below the video for a copy of Humans Are Weird, We Have the Data, or a copy of Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. And peace out, my wonderful viewers.
The book from author Betty Adams, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, is a humorous look at human behavior through the eyes of aliens. This book is arranged in separate reports or essays, documenting the experiences with humanity through the lens of the aliens who have to interact with them. This anthology of short stories and vignettes from alien points of view highlights some of humanity's quirks we can all relate to. Author Betty Adams captures how strange and interesting humans can really be. This is a fun collection of stories you will really get a kick out of. Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, from author Betty Adams. Order your copy right now on Amazon.
Order page for Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote is alive on Indiegogo. Go check out the link below the video to get your short story collection of human absurdity as seen through the eyes of our little green alien friends. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, book 2 in the Human Absurdity series, available on Indiegogo. Check out the link below.